On August 14, 1947, a new country, Pakistan, was created. India won its freedom from British rule, ending nearly 350 years of British presence. In these 350 years, the British kept peace throughout India. The partition of India mainly consisted of Hindu moving to India and Muslims moving to Pakistan. It was a regional and forced migration. Unlike the partition of India, the Mexico to USA migration is voluntary migration that consists of Mexicans both legally and illegally crossing the border into the USA. The difference between the two migrations is the cause of the migrations. The USA migration is caused because Mexicans want to get better jobs, better education, etc. in America, whereas the India-Pakistan migration was mainly caused because of religious differences that led to conflict. The Muslims were worried that once the British gave India its independence, their rights would not be protected in a land where Hindus dominated. The British Prime Minister Attlee declared on the 20th of February 1947 that the British would move out of India by June 1948 in every condition. After hearing the declaration, Indian leaders were troubled because they knew that if India were not divided by that date, a civil war might break out and the country might divide into various parts. The rational and ethnical conflict between the Hindu and Muslims was another major contributor. Hindu and Muslims brought two religions based mainly on conflicting ideas and conceptions. Because of the several conflicting ideas, the Hindus and Muslims simply could not live together happily without dispute. The British knew that if India were to be partitioned, the violent conflict between the Muslims and Hindu would be reduced and thus fewer people would die. If there are two countries, this would ensure the safety of both the Hindu and Muslims. An area designated for Muslims will mean that the Muslims will not face any foreign discrimination. It will also be an easily accessible country for Muslims and will be available for Muslims to take asylum.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you.
A migrant Abdul Haq was born into a Muslim family. He was 7 years old when India was partitioned. Quote, very upset because no mother, no father, no money. I left everything in India. He claimed that before the partition, quote, we didn't know who was Hindu and who was Muslim. Shiv Sena is a group that is based on the idea of Hindu nationalism. It is known to sometimes break down into violence and has been involved in protests, pickets, market shutdowns, and strikes. Shiv Sena has also been accused of violence against Muslims. It was founded to keep South Indian migrants out of Maharashtra states and stop spread of Islam. The Indian National Congress was Gandhi's party that believed that the partition of India was not necessary and they did not want the separation of Hindu and Muslims. Their goal was to not allow the partition of India and leave India as a country where both Hindu and Muslims lived together.